Shulman Brocha. Let's talk a bit about Purim. We're 3 days before Purim, just as 3 days before Shavuos. So we have to be makabel the Torah on Purim, and we have to prepare 3 days before. So Purim needs preparation. What do we have to understand? The Rambam talks about an interesting aspect. He says that matonis levyonim, that means gifts to the poor, is more important than shlachmonis. Giving simcha to a poor person is a greater essence of the Purim than just giving your neighbors a nice package of cookies or another bottle of wine. Just as Hashem is a giver, so we have to be givers. This year of COVID-19, should take this on board. Giving tzedakah is more important than shlachmonis. Shlachmonis is a mitzvah. I'm not saying. But there is such a thing as shlachmonis-itis. People send shlachmonis into 50, 60 different people and they get back and the kinder guy and a he and a hair. This year, it's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen. We have to be very careful. We should stay at home as much as possible. But the tzedakah, that we could give. And we could do it without getting into a sakana. And it's more important in the first instance. So let me just show you how this works. There's one aspect that we have to think about. Everyone must give matonos avyonim, even the poor person. The very sort who should be given because he's in pain, he too has to give others. Akasha, powerful question. Why should he have to give anyone? He just received through the door, and now you ask him to give it away. Now, to explain this, we have to understand a chiddush. The purpose of matonos avyonim is not the tachlis to give those in need. The goal is to help the giver to gain the importance, the nekuda of what Purim is about. By giving, one becomes able to understand what real simcha is, the real simcha of Purim. It's the act of giving, which is godly, because Hashem is the ultimate giver. And when we give of ourselves, of what we have, we are acting in a godly fashion. Being part of Simcha's Purim, one must give from himself. This is the nekuda. This is the important thing about Purim. The most important thing is not the giving to the poor, but the act of gaining by the simcha of giving to others. In other words, you by giving to others, therefore you become able to understand that is what Purim is about. Giving others, holding on to others, worrying about others. I'll give you a raya. I'll give you something from the Gemara Nedorim. Rabbi Akiva. He lived in shocking poverty at one time. He had no furniture, nothing. The man and his wife, they slept on straw. Now, Rabbi Akiva saw how broken she was, his wife. She came from a very wealthy family. And because of him, because she said that she will give everything to marry this man who's going to become a Talmid Chacham, who's going to become a Gadol, who's going to become a Tzaddik, she gave everything away. And now she was at the point where they're sleeping on straw. Comes the Eibishter He sends Eliyahu Hanavi, dressed as a beggar. And Eliyahu Hanavi knocks on the door, and she answers. And the beggar breaks down and cries to her that he has nothing, not even straw to sleep on. So he begged her, give me some straw so that my kinderlach should have something to sleep on. Says the Gemara, she gave of her straw. She gave of her straw. And with this, Rabbi Akiva comforted her and said, look at this. Look, that fellow is so poor. He didn't have straw, and you were able to give him some. See, we're not so bad after all. We still could give those in a worse situation. There's so many questions on this Gemara. Could it be such a tzaddik could bring his wife comfort by saying, look, you're not so bad off. There are people worse off than us. And another question, why would she be comforted? She has nothing. And now she has, and now she should be happier because she now has less after giving of the straw? Is this the way the tzaddik? Is this the way she, his wondrous wife, this is the way they should live? Finding comfort in other people's poverty? Say, someone else is worse than you? That's the simcha you want me to have? The answer could be that their sadness was not about their poverty. She had already given up everything, knowing that she was doing so that Rabbi Akiva could grow. No, her sadness was that because of her situation, she felt deprived of being able to give of herself to others. She was a giver. She gave away everything for this. And now she felt she had nothing to give. So her pain was because she has nothing to give others. She couldn't give Gemilas Chasudim because she had less than those around her. So what happens? Aish just sends a beggar, Eliyahu Hanavi, and gives her this great gift, the ability to give someone who has even less than she has. Zeis to see, Rabbi Akiva says, we too can do Gemilas Chasudim, even though we're so seemingly poor. That is why some say Gemilas Chasudim are not included in Masagyat, because it is different mitzvah than tzedakah. It's about the giving so one can have simcha and zich that he's been able to help another Jew. And that's the ikar of Purim. I've told you once a long time ago, the Heilige Wurke Rebbe. Someone came into him, never a childless Yid. And the Rebbe had aufgeklickt in the Himmel, and he's looking. He's looking for a bracha to give this broken Yid. And he says, all the gates are closed, but I have one thing I can give you. I can give you my tears, my tränen. And with this he cried. He cried with that little Yid. And those tears gave uplift to that broken neshama. A master from the Heilige Rishna. He was in jail in Tvisa in Purim. He was thrown into jail on a trumped-up charge because the Russian government was afraid he wanted to overtake the government in some way. So on Purim, he wanted to give matanos havyonim. Well, he has nothing, he has nobody. So he stands by the window and he says, Kavi Yuchel Hashem, I have nothing here, and only you, my Father, Tata in Himmel, my Father in heaven. So I give you my one gift, the only thing I have left. And with this, out of his eyes dropped 2 tears. And he looked up and said, Eibishter, this is for you. I get the Purim. We're going to have a difficult Yontif, a difficult Purim this year. But if we know that it's about the giving from the neshama, from the hearts, and we give our children some simcha, we work on it, and we try to hold cup, and not lose ourselves. That will be the matonas of Yonim that we give to the Eibishter, the Kuvit der Heilige Yontif of Purim. Der Eibishter helfen soll sich treffen gesinnt. Wenn Hapechi, Mashiach hat schon bald kommen, wenn Harav bei Yomeini Uwein.